I don't know. Okay, well, basically, okay, this is how we're going to start. We're making advancements, advancements for the better. We're bringing more exclusive content. We're bringing more access to the fighters. We're bringing you content to support my individual analysis videos. So basically, what I'm telling you is this: there's a vision of what I want the channel to be overall, and we're not going to stop until we get there. So right now, I just want you to enjoy the content. If you have some extra time, go check out the official highlights for Gary Russell Jr. Becoming a new WBC 126-pound champion by defeating Johnny Gonzalez. Go check out the highlights. Actually, I'll upload the highlights after this Google Hangout for Adonis Martirosyan. Excuse me. Jamel Charlo versus Adonis Martirosyan. Then you can check out the highlights for Brook versus Jojo Dan. And if you're an intellectual person, then I want you to understand that there are major changes going on with the channel. And as you can see, there are visible changes. But I sound like a broken record to the people who've been following me when I say I want you to understand that my videos are not going to change. I'm still going to do the same amount of videos that I've done before in the past, except what I want to do is I want to bring you closer to the boxers, also use the knowledge and the education I've been giving you with my individual videos by providing boxing content to support my videos. So basically what I'm saying is this is not the days anymore of just a guy sitting in his living room just doing videos, or as they used to say, you know how the famous saying goes, the guy in the basement, in his mom's basement doing videos. No, we got major things going on. And truth be told, I'm going to be honest with you, because on Saturdays, days like today, thank you all, Haymon, I work about maybe 22 hours a day on Saturdays because of the dedication I've made to covering all boxing. You know, not just Mayweather Pacquiao, not Canelo versus Kirkland, all boxing. Anthony Joshua versus Jason Gavin, all boxing. Alfonso Gomez versus Yoshihiro Kamagai, all boxing. You know, now, of course, I'm just one person. And as I realized as time is going on over the last few weeks, with what I'm doing now, I'm coordinating, basically getting footage from all these different events scattered throughout the world now here on T Street Controversy. So there's me, some guys, we're working together. Hoop Jab, he's covering everything over there on the West Coast. So for exclusive West Coast content, I'm talking as far as Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Freddie Roach. Hoop Jab has all of that on lock. We're working together. Be Real TV soon. Everybody's talking about Amir Khan and Kell Brooks soon. Now listen to me, follow me, and the content is right there to prove so. We're going to have Amir Khan on T Street Controversy Live. So these are things that we never thought would be done. You know, I have, but you never thought would be done years ago. Amir Khan, courtesy of Be Real TV. Right down below, Be Real TV, providing boxing content. We're all working together, one goal. From the UK. So as you see right now, we have been providing full, extensive, exclusive coverage for Kell Brook versus Jojo Dan. Everything you possibly can want from a fight, you are getting it here. From the weigh-in all the way until the post-fight highlights and the post-fight interviews, and including myself, the bread and butter, the post-fight results analysis videos. So what I normally do is, you know, we're going to kick back, we're going to relax. I'm going to consume so many, well, copious amounts of sugary beverages, And basically, we're going to talk boxing for the next 2-3 hours or so. I'm actually feeling pretty good. Allergies has been really messing with me. But now that the night is cooler, it's not humid or anything like that, you know, it's none of the pollen floating around, we can talk. So the topic of this show is, what we're going to talk about is, of course, we're going to talk about Johnny Gonzalez versus Gary Russell Jr., Kell Brook versus JoJo Dan. We're going to talk about Jamel Charlo, the twin brothers Charlo versus Venice, the Nightmare Martirosyan. What else? We're going to talk about Nonito, the Filipino Flash, versus William Prado. We're going to talk about Mayweather versus Pacquiao, Saul Canelo Alvarez versus James Kirkland. We're going to talk about Ruslan Provodnikov versus Lucas Matisse, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus Andres Fonfara. We're going to talk about Terrence Crawford versus Tomas Delorme, James DeGale, Andre Durrell, Anthony Durrell, Badu Jack. What else? And I know that you know I'm missing some fights this week coming up. We got Adonis Stevenson versus Saki Obiko on PBC on CBS. And that's just the essence of the service. And that's really what it is, the service that I want to provide. As we know, April is a very, very huge month for boxing. So what I'm going to do is, as I said, major things are going on. For example, there's always people complaining about the bandwidth, people complaining about the picture quality. Guess what? We're working on all this. 2015 is the year. T-Street controversy rises. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm inviting people, I'm actually going to play some highlights, courtesy of Showtime Championship Boxing. This is T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live of RealCombatMedia.com, and I cover every single major fight live. So let's see, what am I looking for? We are going to do this. Hold up, wait. First, I got to get the highlights. But yeah, while I'm getting the highlights, let's talk a little bit. Listen, we got to, okay. Boxing is scored so many different ways. Now, one judge, for example, if you take a judge from Mayweather Maidana 1 and put that same judge in Canelo versus Lara, you may have a different winner as far as officially for that fight. So now that I got these highlights right here, what we're going to do is I'm going to invite some people, and then basically, I ain't going to lie, it's going to get a little bit rowdy. It normally does, but it's a good thing because, you know, you get a lot of people who really know what they're talking about, and also you get good, solid, quality, genuine fans. And also, listen, like I said, you know, I'm all about free speech. You're not going to always agree with me. I understand, and I tell people all the time, there's going to be times where literally I'm going to piss you off, and you're going to be like, this motherfucker, you know, but it's all for the good of the sport. You know, so there may be one fight where you may think like, this is the dumbest motherfucker alive. And then it's maybe another fight where you think I'm a genius. But it's all for the good of the sport. And once again, it's all about being respectful of people's opinions. So if you're not respectful of people's opinion, what we're going to do is, yeah, there we go. T-Street Controversy. T-Street Controversy Live.
It's tough to maintain position. It's a mental thing. When you're into a puncher. And Gonzalez is down for the second time in the fight.
Bandwidth slowing down. See? Oh, my bad. That's my fault. The video is actually not done uploading yet. My bad. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the next one in line. Let's see what the next one is. Let's see what the next one is. My bad, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Yeah, we're going to play the Kell Brook versus JoJo Dan highlights. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can see that.
I wonder maybe just for a round for Brook not to look for the knockout. You know, you want to do a one punch, maybe just outbox this fellow, confuse him with the jab. That's good stuff.
Okay, you know what? Now this is just pissing me off now. Now this is just pissing me off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stop things at one time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for those videos to finish fully uploading before I go and start trying to play them. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite some Google Hangout regulars in. And what we're going to do is we're going to start debating for the good of the sport, of course, for the good of the cause. And what I want you to do is please subscribe. T-Street Controversy, T-Street Controversy Live. So listen, where we're going to start. We're going to start with Nonito, the Filipino Flash, Donaire, and we're going to talk about his fight against a guy by the name of William Prado. What we will be doing is after I finish using up all the internet that I'm using right now and everything slows down as far as the videos that I have in edit and the videos that I have uploading. Once they're all done, we're actually going to watch my bad. We're actually going to watch Nonito Donaire's fight against William Prado in full once more people start actually getting in. So I just invited some people, and let's make sure that we don't have any issues as far as making sure everybody can get it. Okay, so one person is here. So that means that basically you should have no problem getting in. If one person is here, then you should have no problem getting in. Now what I may do is maybe within an hour I may open it up to the public for everyone. Maybe. But we'll see how this goes for now. So Nonito the Filipino Flash Donaire is back, basically. Now, the last time he fought against Nicholas Walters, and we all know he took the first knockout loss of his career. In my opinion, I was thinking to myself, well, how many divisions is this dude going to move up, and thinking he's just going to keep running through these divisions? Now, you're going to have some fans that forget and forgot who Nonito Donaire was, or know who he is. Yes, he had those 2 losses against Guillermo Rigondeaux and Nicholas Walters. Rigondeaux basically just pretty much got outboxed, and then with Nicholas Walters, he got beat up by the bigger person. So a rematch with either of those fighters will likely go the same way. Rigondeaux, he may have a better chance of beating Rigondeaux. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying he may have a better chance of beating Rigondeaux in a rematch than he would against a huge, humongous, very skilled and strong fighter in Nicholas Walters. But now he's back at 122 pounds. Remember, he had Victor Chenyan, Toshiaki Nishioka, Jeffrey Mathebula. Who else am I missing? It's a couple of other fighters that I'm missing. Jorge Arce, and basically he just dominated that division and was the king of that division all the way up until he met Guillermo Rigondeaux and got beat up and pretty much had to pass the throne to Rigondeaux, and Rigondeaux has been king since. So now you're thinking, well, at 122 pounds, where is he trying to get to? What is the goal? Well, let's look at the WBC, for example. You got Leo Santa Cruz. Now, let's be honest with you. Be honest with ourselves. Leo Santa Cruz is not going to be fighting a Nonito Donaire. I just don't see that happening, and I'm talking about for political reasons. You should be able to put it together yourselves. But with Leo Santa Cruz likely moving up to the 126-pound division, a couple of fights, maybe the WBC may ease Nonito Donaire into that WBC race as far as maybe putting up a tournament for that fight. For that belt, if Leo Santa Cruz moves up to 126 pounds, which I'm hearing is very likely for this year. You look at the IBF, you got Cole Frampton, very big fight to make, but then you have Cole Frampton in negotiations with Scott Quigg. Scott Quigg, the WBA regular world champion. Now remember, I hate to have to do this every video, but for a lot of viewers, you'd be surprised they don't know the difference between the WBA belts. So you got the WBA, okay, put it this way. You got Keith Thurman, who's the WBA world champion at 147 pounds. But you got Floyd Money Mayweather, who's the WBA Super World Champion at 147 pounds. You got Floyd Mayweather, the 154-pound Super World Champion, but then you got Erislandy Lara, the 154-pound World Champion. So going back to Nonito Donaire, you got Scott Quigg, who's the WBA World Champion, and Cole Frampton, who are supposed to be fighting, but then you got Guillermo Rigondeaux, who's just trying to get a big fight. God bless his soul. His manager actually had went to the WBA or issued a letter to the WBA. It's actually here on the page. I did a video on it, basically saying, well, we want to fight our mandatory. Now, in this day and age, how many fighters, champions, chase their mandatory? It's like, yo, I don't want my mandatory fight nobody else but me. So you have the WBA World Champion and Scott Quigg, who's the mandatory for Rigondeaux, but Quigg and Frampton, want to get a fight on. But then you have the WBA saying that they won't sanction the bout for the belt. So we don't know what's going on with that situation. So when you think about where Nonito Donaire could go, maybe a Chris Avalos, people are throwing Kid Galahad name around a lot. Shingo Waki, maybe he should want to fight. Maybe he may want to fight a guy who gave Rigondeaux a little bit of problems in Hisashi Yamagata. There are fights out there for him, but also you have to think, well, how comfortable is he at 122 pounds? If you've been following, the media and basically I got a couple of guys that I know who work with him over there at camp. It's been having a little bit of trouble with the weight. Now, of course, fighting at 122 pounds, you're gonna, at that age, you're gonna have some trouble with the weight. But is it serious to the point where he's killing himself? Is the issue. Now, at one point in time, I was hearing that he was going up to 130 and maybe even 135 pounds at one. He really thought, he was going to be able to dominate those divisions. It was good for boxing while it lasted, but as we see, it wasn't really going to come to fruition. Okay. But what's up? But basically, yeah, we're talking about pretty much. You gotta turn your volume down. Yeah, okay. So you gotta think it's late where I'm at. See what I mean? So everybody's starting to get here now. So it's probably gonna pick up a little bit. We gotta wait for there's gonna be this really angry guy from the UK coming soon. Very knowledgeable, regular on the show. He likes to put people in their place. Hopefully we may get what they call, what do they call those things? A pack card in here or a FOMO. What they call, get a couple of those in there, get a nice healthy debate going on. But yeah, I've been running my mouth like the last, I guess, 20 minutes or so. And I did start the show actually earlier than it was actually listed, for once. So basically, I'm going to open it up to the floor and see what you guys have to say, and start doing some stuff behind the scenes. But basically, what's up, Dean? You ain't been around in a while. I can't hear you.
Yeah, hear me?
I'm back now. Life's just been crazy, that's all. But I'm back.
Well, it is officially boxing season has begun.
Yeah, I had to move lately. I had laryngitis, all kinds of stuff going on in my life. So I'm in a bigger apartment now. I got a balcony now, which is great.
Like a boss.
Yeah, moving up in the world. I once owned a house, though, so I'm kind of down in the world still, but hey.
Yeah, but you got a balcony, so it's kind of like moving. That's like moving up to the east side.
It's got a balcony. It's got a nice courtyard. I can see the ocean, so it's pretty good.
Courtyard. Oh, okay. If you got a courtyard, but basically, we pretty much know what's going on today. You know, there's been so much happening today that basically we got content for days to talk about as far as fights are concerned. So what we should do is we should there we go. What we should do is I guess talk about the main event, Johnny Gonzalez versus as they say the TBA killer, Gary Russell.
You know what? I was surprised on that fight, dude. I really thought Gonzalez was going to
How? That's the part. That's what I want to talk to people about. How?
Oh my God, I really was surprised, man. But I saw Gonzalez, man. He wasn't letting himself go at all, man. Though, man.
He didn't pull the gun.
I mean, I know that speed had to do was a factor too as well, but man, he couldn't just let them hands go, man. That's what killed him.
But he's always been somewhat of a he's not a guy who has fast hands. He's always been known for bringing the power, and pressure. Now, people say that when he beat up Abner Maris, that was a fluke. I saw that comment somewhere on my Facebook. It wasn't a fluke because Abner Maris was one of those guys where no real boxing technique. He tries to, he uses his chin as a shield, to the point where, when you keep moving up in weight, and I was just talking about how Donaire was doing it, you using your chin as defense, somebody's going to knock you out. Yeah. So him beating Abner Maris, that was almost a tailor-made fight for him in a way.
Yeah.
I think that the reason I put this mask on is because he needs to have a rematch. Because he didn't seem right. He wasn't right.
I muted myself, and I asked if I was echoing again on this part.
It was awful. It was
now
awful.
Your microphone's cool. Your microphone's cool.
Don't worry about that.
No, he said my microphone's cool.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was mine.
No, yeah, you're cool. No, it was me. I had the volume too loud.
Okay. So I think that Russell's always been fast. Only problem was that he looked really bad with Lomachenko.
I don't know. Just wait a few minutes. I'll drink it.
He didn't have that pop. He didn't have that power against Lomachenko. But with here, Russell
But then again,
Russell does.
But Johnny Gonzalez was right there though. He was, like right there to be hit if you really, Okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm trying to think, like, is this the same Gary Russell that fought Vasyl Lomachenko? And for some reason, maybe it's just me, but I'm really not buying the whole he was dehydrated thing.
Yeah, I mean, either. I don't buy that shit.
No, he's just good. Lomachenko's just really good. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, he's really
that's how I see it. And you have to do your homework.
Yeah, I bet you if
you go back on Lomachenko, the dude got the experience. He's like Rigondeaux. His experience is
as far as that amateur experience, 400 and something like wins and like 5 losses. He got a crazy record. I believe it was like 1 loss or something like that.
Yeah, 1 loss and almost 400 fights. Yeah,
that tells you right there. He's the
something crazy like that. So and I always said that maybe he fought probably 20, 30 Gary Russell Juniors before. Because the things he was doing to Gary Russell. Gary Russell was trying. It didn't seem like, put it this way, if Gary Russell, in my opinion, was to fight Vasyl Lomachenko again, it may go a little bit differently, but I got Vasyl Lomachenko still winning. Because Lomachenko is a very highly skilled and intelligent boxer.
Yep.
He's not going, he's not going out there, he's not a guy that goes out there with no plan. A lot of fighters say they don't watch tapes. I see Vasyl Lomachenko being one of those fighters that watch footage, watch tape. But I mean, I am happy for Gary Russell though. To see him after losing to Vasyl Lomachenko to fight before come back and actually win in a fight where a lot of people didn't think he was going to win. And it was and I can see where people and why people picked Johnny Gonzalez. I can see why. But at the same time, for him to stop Johnny Gonzalez, impressive, more than impressive, in my opinion.
He was. I wasn't expecting it at all. I thought Johnny was gonna use that hook, that left hook, the same hook he used with what's his name? Whatchamacallit, homeboy.
Yeah,
Maris.
at the Maris.
Yeah, Maris. I'm
And Jorge Arce. But
yeah,
then
but
again,
this
I
is the
ask
thing though.
myself,
This is the thing. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't trying to get in. He wasn't trying to do anything. He was just looking for that one KO, one
yeah.
punch. Like, oh, I'm just gonna hit him one time and that's it. Nah,
So
you can't do that. This man has experience. This man knows what he's doing. He's fast. He can move and he can circle around you. Johnny didn't do anything. He was just honestly like a punching bag.
yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, Johnny Gonzalez has well over 60 fights, 60 professional fights at 33 years old. You know, don't be surprised if before Johnny Gonzalez's next fight that we hear that, well, you know, I wasn't myself during that fight. I was dehydrated too. You know, because if you look at, you know, when you look at these guys fighting in those lower divisions, you know, and the older they get fighting in those lower divisions, you have to think, well, who isn't really, you know, a little bit dehydrated? Who isn't really a little bit, you know, drained? So I'm thinking to myself, you know, maybe Johnny, maybe he should move to 130. How would he fare at 130 pounds? Because remember, he is 33 years old. But we have to see what, you know, we can't say anything until we see him in his next fight. You know, we can't say anything until we see who he fights next and how he does in that performance. But looking at him, you know, and having that weigh-in footage and watching the weigh-in in high definition, he looks sick. You know, like he looks sick at the weigh-in. You know what I mean? He just was like skin and bones. You know, like look, you're 126 pounds. You know, it's nothing there.
That's not his walking weight. That's not his walking weight. So yeah, he's dehydrated and losing power. You know, you try to rehydrate back again. Something's not gonna go wrong.
He came in, I believe, at 137. He rehydrated. He weighed in around 125 exactly, if I'm correct. And he came in at he came into the ring, the unofficial weigh-in, which maybe have been maybe 8 hours before they actually stepped into the ring. 137.
But
Garrett,
let's face it. What if he would have won that fight? Who do you think he would have fought next, though? Really, think about it.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now, I did a video. And it's crazy because I got a fucked up memory. But I did a video about a month and a half ago. Talking about Johnny Gonzalez's Al Haymon deal. It's supposed to be about 2 more fights. Those next 2 fights will likely be on NBC, PBC, NBC something. So basically, what you may have is you may have Johnny Gonzalez versus Leo Santa Cruz, Abner Maris, and there was somebody else in the mix. There was somebody else.
Let's not put Leo at all. Let's just remove him from anywhere. I don't.
Well, here's the thing. It's getting
power, and he should not be respected in this sport. I mean,
Versus a bitch.
He's just horrible. I can't even. You know, I was excited for him. I was every time Leo's Santa Cruz. I was like, oh yeah, hey, there you go. He's gonna get into a fight with Rigondeaux.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, and it's crazy because when I was
boxing, the new of boxing is I want to take the easy road. I want to keep my O.
Thank you,
I have an O, and I don't want to let it go.
Thank you, Haymon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you, Haymon. I've noticed that there's been a lot of talks. It's a lot of noise being made about Leo Santa Cruz moving up to the 126-pound division this year. You know, like soon. Because
who can it be at 126? Nicholas Walters? No. Vasyl Lomachenko? No.
But he won't fight. But you got to think with the Al Haymon plan, he won't fight Vasyl Lomachenko or he won't fight a Nicholas Walters.
Who is he gonna fight? Who is he gonna
fight?
He's gonna fight his sparring partner.
Right now, no. Right now, to be honest with you, you got to think how the man with the plan thinks. You got to think how the man with the plan thinks. And tell me you can't see Leo Santa Cruz versus Johnny Gonzalez.
Yeah, because he's coming out. Johnny Gonzalez, he's going out.
Exactly. So tell me you can't think that think for one, first before I give any criticism of Al Haymon, I gotta say thank you first for the chance to give you criticism. So you can't tell me that with the way Al Haymon does his matchmaking, he thinking like, I could make Abner Maris versus Johnny Gonzalez too, but then Abner Maris might lose again. But what I can do is, since Johnny Gonzalez is really not my guy, really put him against Leo Santa Cruz because Johnny Gonzalez is on his way out. Leo Santa Cruz may be able to outwork him. So
let me cut you off right quick. He's doing the same thing that Arum does. So everybody's talking about Arum in-house, but Al Haymon's doing the same thing. How is that even possible? So everybody's criticizing Top Rank. In-house.
Well, see, what I've noticed is
same time Al Haymon.
No.
What is going on in your background, Dave? Let's get your shit together.
Leo Santa Cruz would get fucking knocked out by Carl Frampton. He'd be lucky to get past Scott Quigg. He's the paper champion as far as I'm concerned.
And that's the thing. I don't know how to judge Leo Santa Cruz because we haven't seen him against any competition. So it's like, how do you rate him? How do we say, oh, well, he would beat that person? We just don't know.
We don't.
Did you see Carl Frampton against Chris Avalos? I'm convinced Carl Frampton will stop Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz is weak as shit.
Carl Frampton is very good.
He's very good. He's one of my favorites to watch right now.
Yeah.
He got a good chin too.
But at the same time, we can't really. Okay, put it this way. As you was talking about, like Arum, like with his in-house boxing, one thing we could trust about Arum is, and I'm thinking maybe because he's older and senile, and then he just wants to see blood at his age. If you notice, he puts on tough fights. The toughest fights he has to put on, he puts on. It's Haymon that has his own plans, his own goals for his fighters. So he has some grand vision for guys like Leo Santa Cruz, who names his sons Al Santa Cruz Haymon or whatever his son, and that makes me think Al Haymon really doesn't want to see him hurt because for one, Oscar De La Hoya, they were actively negotiating for Leo Santa Cruz to fight Guillermo Rigondeaux. Al Haymon came down with his cape and just grabbed Leo Santa Cruz and just swept him away into the sunset. And when you see stuff like that, it's like, how are you going to just take him away from fights that fans want to see? Fans want to see that fight. But then you'll say, but no, listen, fans would love to see Leo Santa Cruz versus Abner Maris, though, or Leo Santa Cruz versus Johnny Gonzalez. And in a way, it's our fault because we still watch the fights, but at the same time, guys like Leo Santa Cruz will never be loved in the media. A guy like Leo Santa Cruz will always have to ask questions every time his fights come around. Well, what about Rigondeaux?
Even the fans.
But we already seen this though. We already seen this. This background that just happened with Leo. What happened? Thank you, Al Haymon. The same thing with Superman, Adonis Stevenson, and Kovalev.
Yeah.
So he did that there. He took Superman and put him on his stable, and then he did the same thing with Santa Cruz. So it's a pattern.
Leo Santa Cruz don't want Rigondeaux. Keep in mind, Marcus Maidana made $1 million, $1.5 million fighting Floyd Mayweather in his first fight. Leo Santa Cruz wants 3 times that much to fight Rigondeaux. If that's not ducking, then I don't know what is. He don't want Rigondeaux.
Yeah, I'm starting to think the same thing, man. Because
he don't want Rigondeaux.
Adonis don't want to fight the Crusher. That's what happened.
Well, Adonis has no choice but to fight the Crusher now.
Now he does. Now he does.
Which is why I'm thinking his tone has changed as far as, like, put it this way, Adonis Stevenson. Not to get off the Santa Cruz subject, but Adonis Stevenson, I noticed has been a lot more vocal lately, and I'm thinking, well, from the street. So I'm thinking, you only talking like that because you know that you have no choice but to fight him. With the WBC is like, yo, we taking your belt. We are taking your belt.
Mayweather.
See, and then Al Haymon PBC belts, if there are PBC belts, of course, they're not even made yet. So you can't just have
More belts. Great.
You can't put it this way. Put it this way. You can't have Kovalev having all those belts and Adonis Stevenson dropping a belt and having Kovalev become an undisputed champion that way. That would make how could Adonis Stevenson go on with his career like that? The interesting thing is to see what network it's going to be on. That's the interesting thing.
Imagine Sakio beat Adonis Stevenson, and where's Adonis Stevenson go from there?
He'll be undisputed champion. He'll be able to do whatever he wants. And put it this way, if Haymon gets, this is a saying I've used before, and I probably stole it from somebody. Most likely I did. But if Adonis Stevenson beats Sergey Kovalev, Al Haymon has all the Dragon Balls. Like he will have all those 175-pound belts to distribute amongst his 175-pound minions as he pleases. He will have all those belts. Al Haymon will have the whole 175-pound division, the division belt, and he can just sign up all 175-pound fighters. And
what do you think about Beterbiev, though? Beterbiev is stepping up through the ranks, and he's finding Gabriel Campillo next, a former world champion. He beat Sergey Kovalev twice.
Both Al Haymon
twice in the amateurs.
I remember he also got Al Haymon got Lucien Bute, and a couple of other 175-pound fighters.
200 fighters. That list that you put up, that's a lot of fighters, man.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So if Adonis Stevenson beats Sergey Kovalev, Al Haymon, they have all those belts that he can do as he wishes with, and you know what? He can keep those belts hostages by having his guys, fighting each other. To the point where, if you're a Golden Boy Promotions or, if you're a top-ranked promotion and you got a 175-pound guy, that you want to get a title shot, you got to wait for the organizations to order the fight. And hope that Al Haymon don't pay you double or triple what the purse will be for the fight for you not to take the fight.
Yeah.
Because dude covers his ass. Just like with this Johnny Gonzalez, if you don't know, there's a lawsuit between Al Haymon, Johnny Gonzalez's team, and Golden Boy Promotions, where basically Al Haymon just takes your fighters. He will take your fighters and covers his ass while he does it. Like for example, Chavez Jr. still has a fight with that he owes the top rank. You wonder why hasn't been any promotions or any promos for that yet? Why? Because they still handling that legal shit of Al Haymon just taking Chavez Jr.
Hey, I heard that was the reason Bonnet was left Goosen, right? For that reason, that he don't like Chavez Jr.
You know what?
That's what I heard.
You know what? I did. I was listening to that, and maybe because Chavez Jr. is a high commodity, and maybe Vince Martirosyan didn't want to be involved with that as far as I got a fight coming up now, but then you training him. You getting all this extra time to him. What about the extra time I need? So yeah, I can understand. If there may be a little bit of trouble there as far as conflicts and as far as who is primary. And to be honest with you, yeah, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is primary over Vince Martirosyan. Just like when Freddie Roach. What you say?
You think he's going to be Fonfara? Because Fonfara is a big man. He's a natural guy.
See, that's the thing. Chavez Sr. even said himself that he didn't want his son to take that fight.
He's too small for that fight. Mm-hmm. He feels.
Fighting at 175 pounds.
All Chavez got to do is smoke his weed and eat some Cheerios, bro, and swim on the swimming pool.
True, but see, no, he can smoke his tree and eat his Cheerios, but what that does for him is that gives him power to sustain his ass, to sustain an ass whooping.
Fonfara was no joke though. Fonfara knocked Adonis Stevenson on his ass. He's no joke.
Almost beat Adonis Stevenson.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, and who else he did that? Him and another fighter. He knocked his asses out.
But see,
I forgot the other.
Put it this way: if Chavez Jr. loses, then Chavez Jr. He's gonna face mass ridicule, and I believe he'll be done. Fonfara is not a joke. Fonfara has improved since fighting Adonis Stevenson and having a high-profile fight like Adonis Stevenson has done a lot for psyche. Remember, Al Haymon gave Fonfara his own card in Chicago, his own Fonfara leading his own Showtime card. Yeah. With him on a promo poster like this, happy as shit. With that thank you Al Haymon smirk on his face, like, yeah, I got my own card, me Fonfara. So
I don't think Chavez Jr. is good anyway.
Chavez Jr. is like this. He's one of those type of fighters where
he's undisciplined. He's undisciplined. He don't take the sport seriously.
Now he's one of those type of fighters where he can knock you out, but at the same time, he's known for basically his father, and yes, he does have his father's chin. We can't say that, but realistically, what is he known for? What is Chavez Jr. known for outside being a son of Chavez Sr. and also getting his
taking an ass beating?
True. I mean, he got his face smashed in by Sergio Martinez, but at the same time, Sergio Martinez ain't been the same since that 11th and 12th round.
And Chavez outweighed him by 30 pounds.
Yeah. Chavez Jr. was high.
And he was heavier.
I just gotta say something right quick about that. I gotta say something right quick.
Chavez Jr. was a cruiserweight when he fought fucking Sergio Martinez.
Yeah. But this is the thing, though. This is what's going to happen. There's two things that's going to happen in here. One is that he's going to get his ass knocked out, or he's going to lose again. He's going to quit, or he's going to be up and quitting. And he's going to take over his father's legacy, which I doubt it. But those are the main things that's going to happen. Either he goes up or he goes down. That's it. There's no other way around it. And if he don't win, if he loses, it's going to be motivation. If he wins, then he's going to be slacking off.
He's slacking off anyway.
It's best for him to lose.
That's true,
It's best for him
if he wins, it's not... Okay. For one, he fought Brian Vera. Okay. He fought at 160 pounds, right? He fought Brian Vera. That fight was supposed to be at a catchweight of 162 pounds. Somehow that fight ended up at 172 pounds, like heavyweight. But here's the thing. He's fighting a natural fight, and this is real fight. This is two weight divisions above 175 pounds. I mean 175 pounds. 160 pounds. Can somebody crack the damn TV down or something? I'm hearing an echo.
It's not me. Not this time.
Maybe I gotta do my check.
Maybe to fix itself. I'm trying to find. Yeah, I'm a Chavez Jr. fan. I'm trying to find a reason to believe that he can be a 175-pound champion because if you looking at him right now, what weight do you think Chavez Jr. is? I would say he's about 190, maybe 200 pounds. I can't hear you. Did somebody say something?
It's echo, man.
Yeah, what is that?
You're hearing your own echo coming back.
Yeah, I hear it too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think I fixed it. No, I didn't. Hold on.
History. Mute each one, and then you gotta find out about the echo. Low. Yeah, I gotta say something.
Am I echoing?
No.
Me?
Unmute yourself, T-Street.
Can y'all hear me? Yeah, we good now.
Okay.
I don't know who that was. But and you know what? It's crazy because it's so late. I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. Oh, Chavez Jr. He's not gonna be. Put it this way. I don't know how to judge him is because, for one, you're supposed to be fighting at 168 pounds, but then this fight is at 172. So it's like after the Brian Vera stuff, you still can't be like, what weight division are you going to fight in? You know, so yes, he may be training with Joe Goosen and everything like that, and yes, he may be an Al Haymon fighter, but remember, he's a highly paid Al Haymon fighter. So I'm thinking to myself, mentally, is Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. ready for a guy like Fonfara?
Fonfara's a big man.
So, you know, but also Fonfara is a skilled light heavyweight that we've seen, you know, against Adonis Stevenson. So, you know, I'm thinking to myself, Chavez Jr. often has an issue with work rate, and I'm thinking, will we see a Chavez Jr. that we've never seen before with a trainer that he just got like a couple of weeks ago in Joe Goosen? Yo,
who's the biggest fighter Chavez Jr. has fought so far?
What you mean, as far as size?
Size, yeah, size. Because Fonfara is a natural 175 pounder. Says Chavez Jr. was fighting.
He hasn't fought no one. He hasn't fought no one that big. The biggest, Sebastian Zabek, I believe.
Sebastian Zabek, yeah.
But
how many years ago was that? He's not even a huge 160 pounder. But that's the fight was a 160 pounder. He's a big man, but
here's the thing. He's fighting for the
175 pounder.
I know, but at the same time, put it this way. Okay. He can beat a Fonfara, but we don't know who Chavez is above 160 pounds.
Yeah, he can definitely beat a Fonfara.
And then look at this fight. You know, if you look at the second Brian Vera fight, we don't know exactly who he is. And I'm thinking to myself, well, who is he going to fight if he beats Fonfara? Is it going to be at 168 or 175? We don't know, you know, and it's hard when you're watching a guy like Chavez Jr. because the WBC offered. Now, a lot of people don't know this. The WBC had offered Chavez Jr. Now, listen, this is crazy. They said, listen, we can make you #1 contender for Anthony Durrell right now. And this was like 6 months ago, and he turned it down. But this was at the time when he was still with Top Rank. So now I'm thinking to myself, well, once
numbers that going again.
There it is. I'm gonna give it 15 minutes.
Is it me?
I'm gonna give it 15 minutes.
No, it's not me. I've been here.
I don't know. What's up, Neil?
What's good, Joe?
I see you, man.
I just got back in. They didn't do a post-fight press conference tonight.
How'd it go?
I can't hear shit.
Yeah, I think he muted himself.
Yeah, I think he's trying to figure out who's that going.
I'm talking. Yeah, my bad. I was all talking. Maybe you said they didn't do a post-fight press conference. Maybe Johnny Gonzalez was injured or something. I don't know. See, for a fight like this, it's weird that
everybody who loses, either they weight drain or there's something wrong. They can never accept defeat.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out. Press conference. For example, there hasn't been a press conference for Daniel Garcia versus Martirosyan yet. So that right there has been.
He was weight drained.
What'd you say?
Is that what they were saying on the broadcast? That he was weight drained?
No, they wasn't saying that.
Somebody needs to turn their volume down.
I'm getting this echo like 10 minutes. Because if it keeps coming, is it echoing now?
No. It just stopped.
Echo? I don't hear one anymore.
I'm gonna give this echo like 10 minutes.
I don't hear it anymore.
I think it's gone.
It comes in and out.
Yeah, well, if it keeps happening, because actually, you know, I wanted to be here for like 2 hours, but you know, we've been talking. You know what? We already talked about Johnny Gonzalez. How did y'all have the Charlo fight?
I think Charlo lost.
I gave it to Charlo.
Charlo too. Man, Bonnet, man.
I gave it to Bang.
There's always an
issue. Because he was just going forward. He was just at it. But he should have stuck and using them body punches.
Man,
He
if
would have won
Martirosyan
the
should
fight
have hit the body more
nicely. He
often.
would have just stuck
Hell, he
to the
wanted
fight.
to quit. You saw that?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did seem
man.
like he wanted to quit.
Yeah.
It seemed like he wanted to
Think
quit.
about it, man. He couldn't see.
But you know, watching it in high definition and listening to him, the doctor was asking him like he was asking him like, no, listen, can you see? Open
He
your
said,
eyes.
I'm blurry, actually blurry.
But then the doctor started getting real specific with the questions. He was like, okay, well, then do you want me to stop the fight? And he was like, oh, I can't see. He's like, no, listen to me. Like, you know, so
blurry.
You know, I don't know if Martirosyan was milking it, but we did find out later on that Martirosyan found out that basically, if the referee would have stopped the fight, it would have been a loss. You know, it wouldn't have win. You know, it would have been a loss.
That's why he continued. That's why he knew he was going to lose on the points. That's why he wanted to keep on fighting.
Exactly. So, which makes me think like, yeah, maybe he was looking for a way out. Maybe he was fatigued and tiring, because you know, when you look at the body work he was doing at the beginning of the fight, it looked like he was really trying to stop Jermell Charlo via body shots. It really looked like that's what he was trying to do.
He fucked up by stepping away from that. He stopped with the body shots in the middle rounds. He should have stayed with the body shots.
Yep.
But at the same time, he was eating some stiff.
It was hard for him to penetrate his Charlo's defense in the beginning. That's the problem. It was hard for him to get in there.
I think the fight was exciting.
Yeah. He couldn't get past Charlo's jab. That's what it was. Charlo's jab kept him at bay.
Okay, but I'm telling you, there's other killers out there.
Yeah.
For 154, he not ready.
Do you think Jermell Charlo could beat?
I don't think Charlo is ready. He ain't ready.
Oh, do Charlo beat who?
Do you think Jermell Charlo could beat Canelo Alvarez right now?
No.
No.
I think he'll give him a good fight.
He'd give him a good fight. I think he'd lose.
Jermell Charlo is no Lara. Let's put it this way.
No.
You know, there's something missing from Jermell Charlo. I don't really know what it was. You know, even though tonight, you know, the punch output was low in the fight, but overall, I found it to be an exciting fight.
It was entertaining. It was entertaining.
It was an entertaining fight, even though Martirosyan threw 355 punches and Charlo like 310. That's very low.
Very low punch output.
Yeah,
but overall, it was a good. I enjoyed the fight, and that's probably because it was a lot of tension with the fight and the pressure that Martirosyan was providing. It wasn't like a Ruslan Robotnikov when he was just following you around the ring.
I would like to see a rematch. I would like to see a rematch.
I like to see a rematch within that fight.
Yeah, but Bonnet, man, he's always one of those fighters.
Is James a Haymon fighter?
There's always an issue on him.
It's
not a clear win.
He used to be with Top Rank. He signed with Haymon in 2014. Yeah, he signed with Haymon.
I'm just messing with my camera.
I knew he was gonna lose.
Did they say anything about his trainer? Because I thought what's his name, Goosen was his trainer.
It was. Goosen was his trainer. He stopped using him because of Chavez Jr. Basically, we don't know if it's like if it's like beef, or is it because, you know, basically he wanted to be solely focused on and not be second fiddle to Chavez Jr. Basically, you know, I don't really know what it was, because remember, Joe Goosen also trains John Molina. So basically, Joe Goosen has been having to train these guys on these major cards.
That's the reason Amir Khan. That's the reason Amir Khan left Freddie Roach. He didn't want to be second fiddle to Manny Pacquiao.
I got another interview with Amir Khan tonight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, did he see was he talking about the Kell Brook fight?
Yeah, I asked him about it, and like, of course, like he's saying like Kell Brook's not a name or anything. And like I brought up to him, like, dude, like this guy has the IBF title. If you really want to fight Pacquiao and Mayweather, you should go get that belt, and then they would have a better chance. You would have a better chance of getting that fight.
He's undefeated. I don't understand when Amir Khan says he's not honest.
You're not undefeated. You got unfinished business in your own country.
You don't want to.
I think he should worry about taking care of his of the UK and taking care of that area, taking care of that section. If
he's got British
Pacquiao, he wants Mayweather, Pacquiao, or anybody out here.
Damn, Amir Khan should call out British press conference for that fucking win. He got British Prescott problems.
I mean,
Amir Khan forcing it.
It just seems right now that he just wants to protect his shot at Mayweather Pacquiao. He wants to protect his shot.
He ain't never gonna
If he good, just fight.
And fighting Kell Brook, even though he could beat Kell Brook, even though going into the fight he would be a favorite, it's just something about fighting Kell Brook where he just does not want to take that chance. Because let's be honest.
Too much pressure.
If he loses to Kell Brook, his career is just is as good as over, in my opinion.
Hey, Tisha, who do you favor, Keith Thurman or Kell Brook? Because I feel Kell Brook.
Thurman.
I'm with Kell Brook. I
think Kell Brook beat him.
Keith Thurman.
I got Kell.
See, Thurman and Pitbull have kind of like similar fighting styles. Only
I feel Kell Brook
that,
beat Thurman.
that the Pitbull didn't have the stamina.
I don't know about
Yeah,
that
stop.
one.
Kell Brook is more polished.
Like that.
Kell Brook
Thurman
is
keeps
more polished
going.
than Keith Thurman. Kell Brook is more. He's a better boxer than Keith Thurman is.
Yes.
Yes.
Way better. Way better.
Way better.
Way better.
Way better.
Way better.
He jabs a lot. Yeah, he got a great jab. What does
I actually liked his fight. I wasn't a big fan
power,
of that fight.
left, and right.
Keith Thurman's power is overrated. Expect Keith Thurman's knockout percentage to go down.
Nah, I wouldn't say overrated. I wouldn't say overrated.
Did you see Guerrero?
Expect his knockouts to go down.
I wouldn't say it's not overrated.
That man has.
I think Kell Brook's a better fighter, but I wouldn't say Thurman's overrated.
Thurman is not. Here's the thing. Put it this way. Kell Brook may be a legitimate world champion, but Kell Brook's got more to prove right now than Keith Thurman. I mean, Keith Thurman, if you're looking at his record with Diego Chavez, looking at Soto Carras, and then more importantly, looking at what he did to Robert Guerrero, despite what you think of Robert Guerrero, he fought Mayweather. Keith Thurman,
Robert Guerrero is a former featherweight.
Keith Thurman is good, true, but at the same time, look at the overall record of Keith Thurman. He's been making, gradual steps. So, really,
he's been knocking niggas out. That's what he's been doing.
Who's he been knocking out? Diego Chavez?
For 5 years now.
They're boxers.
Looking at the problems that Carlson Jones gave Kell Brook.
In the first fight.
But looking at the fact that Kell Brook only has who? Sean Porter. Now remember, I'm a Kell Brook fan. Remember, I'm a Kell Brook friend. But Sean Porter and JoJo Dan, he still got some proving to do. Even
I
if
like Kell Brook.
You probably played like a big role in getting that fight on Showtime.
I would favor Kell Brook.
Saying like on how
Definitely.
like the UK fights need to get on American TV. I'm sure you had a part in that.
What you say?
I was saying like I'm sure you had a part in like the Brook fight being on Showtime with how you've been like saying like constantly that like the UK fights.
You know what? I was so happy to see that because some company has got to understand. It's like, it benefits you in the long run, to start showing those fighters over here. For example, a channel like Showtime, who is in a situation with Haymon where Haymon is going to let them show whatever fights that he got to deal with, whatever fighters, but majority of those fighters are not going to be fighting on Showtime. So, in my opinion, it was smart business for them to go like, listen, let's start expanding on this UK market or these overseas fights because people want to see those fights. People wanted to see Kell Brook versus JoJo Dan over here. And I feel that every Kell Brook fight, whether it's over there, or here, it should be on Showtime. Because if you noticed before in the past, Showtime used to do it around a Super 6 time, but I'm talking about during the Mayweather era, Showtime hasn't been showing any international fights.
I don't know.
You can say Adonis Stevenson up in Canada, but no, they haven't really been showing. I'm talking about UK fights. They haven't been showing
overseas fights.
So I was glad to actually see that. And basically what they were saying is it's a new series. It's called Showtime Boxing International. So I'm glad that they're actually doing that. So guys like me don't have to go through hell to watch a fight. A Kell Brook fight. Sky Sports and all that. But it's crazy because
He put in a good performance though.
But
Like that last Martin Murray fight, I had to go through hell trying to fucking find that shit online to catch Martin Murray's last fight before Gennady Golovkin.
Yes. Yeah. No. I didn't. It was on HBO for me. I don't know about you, bruh.
I had to find it online. I had to stream that shit online.
Gotta get HBO.
Nah, bro, you gotta get that HBO, bro. But listen, what I'm
HBO,
gonna
baby.
do is be here for about another 10 minutes. Then I gotta walk this dog. This dog's about to piss everywhere. It looks like. I can never get in peace. But basically, what I'm gonna do is next week, since Adonis Stevenson versus Sakio Bika is the main card when I do Google Hangout, it's gonna be early. It's gonna be the early one. So I'm gonna do one, like prime time.
If Sakio Bika beats Adonis Stevenson, how do you see Sakio Bika stacking up against Sergey Kovalev?
Get knocked out.
He's knocked out.
Knocked out, yeah.
It's funny, it's funny because I got him beating. Put it this way, I don't got him beating Adonis Stevenson yet, but I give him a better chance than a lot of people to beat Adonis Stevenson or give Adonis Stevenson trouble.
He's an awkward fighter.
But when it comes to Adonis Stevenson fighting Sergey Kovalev, I got Sergey Kovalev likely putting him to sleep. I'm talking about knocking him out bad.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Nobody beating Kovalev in that position. Awkward, herky-jerky style. But still, Adonis Stevenson's chin is somewhat as Kelvin says,
Amir Khan
a little delicate around the whiskers.
Yeah.
So,
whiskers.
I think Adonis Stevenson can be stopped or maybe put down a couple of times by Sakio.
Bika's not a strong puncher. He's an awkward fighter. He's not a strong puncher.
But at the same time, those awkward punches that he hits you with, he hits you with velocity. So I mean, you never know. Like, he may not be able to knock Adonis Stevenson out, but he may be able to put him down. Get maybe a couple of knockdowns. Against Adonis Stevenson.
He's definitely a very awkward, tough fighter to fight against.
Hey, so what do you think T3 about all that drama going down on?
If he goes to round 8.
Wait, what drama are you talking about?
All that drama been going on back and forth with Floyd and Manny on their camp.
Honestly, I'm tired of it all. Like, it's nothing
propaganda.
Al Haymon blocking fucking sparring partners and shit. Come on now.
See, what it is you don't know. See, what it is it got to a point where I don't feed into certain stuff because you don't know what to believe, and you got to understand both sides at this point in time. They're throwing propaganda. Both sides. No side is in this. No side is in. They're both throwing propaganda out there, so you don't know who to believe with what. So that's why I want some shit like some news like Zab Judah knocks out Floyd in sparring. I'll put some shit, but I'll put a question mark. You don't see me running with no shit like that. Like, oh, he knocked him out.
Yeah,
I don't get down like that no more. It's not nah.
What about that Mexican from they're supposedly beat the shit out of Mayweather? Roach.
You don't believe Freddie Roach?
I think that's just
You believe anything Mayweather can't say?
No.
For one, as I said, you can't believe nobody unless they're in the gym. Now, just so happens, I knew somebody was in the gym with the Zab Judah thing. But at the same time, it's not the way a lot of people are saying. He didn't knock him out. Now, put it this way. It's sparring. When you're sparring, a lot of times, you're learning. So therefore,
that's what sparring is there for. That's what sparring is there for, to learn.
But as far as Zab Judah knocking Floyd out, knocking Floyd down and all that, nah, it didn't happen.
Yeah, I doubt it.
10 count, probably.
I don't believe it.
And then they play that footage, second footage of Floyd sparring. You see that?
I thought he was starting on Angulo.
It was meant to be leaked.
Slow as hell.
Yeah.
But also remember, you gotta understand that they're putting all this stuff out there for a reason. All this footage and everything. These are two sides that are all working together for the last time, most likely in until maybe the next super fight. We got HBO. This is HBO versus Showtime. This is Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao.
What do you think about Manny Pacquiao supposedly sparring Guillermo Rigondeaux? Because I don't feel that that's gonna help him fight Floyd Mayweather at all.
That's not true.
I don't feel why he wouldn't sparring Guillermo Rigondeaux. That's what I've been hearing though.
That's not true.
Well, you got one thing. Like, see that's it's hard to talk. It's no like I like put it this way. Fighting a guy like Rigondeaux, I mean, sparring a guy like Rigondeaux,
but he's a southpaw and he's small. He's that much smaller.
But it's sparring. Like it's not
sparring.
Like I don't look at sparring as being. Put it this way, Floyd Mayweather can spar Gennady Golovkin tomorrow, and yeah, it's going to be big news. But at the same time, it's sparring.
It's sparring, yeah.
Not, like I'm trying to figure out.
Remember when Molina was saying that he was dropping like 7 fools when he went into Broner, he couldn't do nothing.
Molina did like fucking 10 punches in a fight.
That's what I'm saying.
You would hear from different camps.
Man, these niggas be lying.
You would hear from different camps. Oh yeah, well yeah, he looking real good in camp. He knocking out this guy. He's stepping over the sparring part. Every single Manny Pacquiao fight, you hear it. Every single Floyd Mayweather fight, you hear it. In fact, when do you ever hear, unless someone loses, they had a bad camp? Never.
You never.
Right. Right.
There's always, it's the best camp we ever had.
The only bad camp I ever heard of, which was really bad, was when Chad Dawson, before the Andre Ward fight with the Edison Miranda.
Mm-hmm.
That one seems to have clout.
Yeah.
See, I don't remember. It's crazy because I watched that fight. And Chad Dawson, he is the type of person to say, well, yeah, we had a bad camp. The camp was fucked up.
Yeah, he admitted.
But 99 out of 100% of the time, you won't hear a fighter say, like before a fight at like a weigh-in interview, or like, well, we had the awful camp. It was the worst camp we ever had. Bad sparring. I got dropped.
Why would they say some shit like that though?
But which is the reason why you got to look at why would they the reason why they would say, oh, camp is good, and then you'll hear them say, we're knocking all these guys out in camp. We're knocking them all down. We're running through them all. They're bringing. I'm sparring guys that are 4, 5, 6 weight divisions above me.
Errol Spence Jr. supposedly gave Floyd Mayweather Jr. the business. He gave him a black eye and fucked up Adrian Broner and sparring and all that bullshit. Supposedly,
that man is the future. Errol Spence.
Yeah, I feel the same way. But Adrian Broner denies it. Errol Spence Jr. won't talk on that, but supposedly Errol Spence Jr. fucked up Floyd Mayweather so bad he got kicked out of sparring. He got kicked out the fucking gym.
That is a very put it this way. It's never been confirmed. It's never been confirmed.
It's never been confirmed. Yeah.
That's a very widespread. It's widespread, and from my understanding, from what I've heard, it's true. To the point where he was giving Floyd some work. Floyd brought him back into the camp. Floyd maybe started doing work on him. He did black Floyd's eye, but when it came to Adrian Broner, he beat Adrian Broner down.
Yeah, he got fucking kicked the fuck out of the gym from what I hear.
But then Floyd did let him back, and you got to think, like I said, it's sparring. Would Errol Spence likely beat Floyd Mayweather?
Probably not.
Maybe in the future.
Errol Spence is the future. He's the future though.
But
Errol Spence is the truth.
Yeah. Hey, he's supposed to be fighting on that. On the phone.
But not.
This is the thing. Anybody has the possibility of beating everybody if given the opportunity, especially boxing. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Errol Spencer did beat the shit out of both of them. Of course. Why not? He's trying to make him.
I'm tired of seeing Errol Spence fight 8 fucking round fights. He needs to step up competition. He's that good. They're wasting away his fucking years fighting him fucking 8-round fights.
That's not up to him. That's not up to him.
He's that good though. He's that good.
He's that good, but that's not up to him.
At least 10 fucking round fights.
You have to work
every time he fights, he's having sparring sessions, beating the fuck out of fucking dudes 8-round fights.
12 rounders.
Yeah,
But
but
You don't just have to go from round four rounds to 8 rounds to 12 rounds. You
well,
don't just fight professional to 12
Right.
rounds.
Yeah, he
You have
does.
to
Gotta
build
go
yourself
But
up.
enough 8-round
You
fighters.
have
He needs to step
you
up to
have
10-round fighters. Errol
classes.
Spence Jr. is the
You have
truth.
classes.
I understand bringing him up slowly like they do Keith Thurman, but he's above 8-round level at this point. Errol Spence Jr.
He
He
is,
don't
but
need to be fighting no 8-round fights
that's not
anymore.
the way it works. That's not the way it works.
I think this year it should be his come out year. But honestly, my dog is right here, and honestly, I really don't feel like cleaning up no urine. Come on, man. I really don't feel like cleaning up. No, back up. Really don't feel like cleaning up no urine. And he's getting really antsy. So what I'm gonna do is say I'm gonna be here next week in a longer episode, obviously, and of course I got a whole bunch of videos coming after I get out of here. And I'm gonna walk my dog and say this is T Street Controversy.